Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter 4 of chemistry, that is atomic structure and uh, chemical bonding. So, today in this video we are going to cover the topics uh, atoms and its structure, that how it is formed. So, highlights of today's topic are first Dalton's atomic theory, then atom and its structure, discovery of electron, discovery of proton, and Thomson's model of an atom. So let's get started. So first topic is Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory is a theory which is given by the scientist John Dalton in 1808, in which he has conducted an experiment and given some assumptions which give the properties and particular characteristics of an atom. So he discovered this theory while conducting an experiment with oxygen and carbon, and he has noted that these two elements combine to form two different compounds. And then he realized that for the same amount of carbon, one compound had exactly twice as much as oxygen or the other. And in this attempt, John Dalton has formulated some assumptions which is termed as atomic theory. In this, he has given some postulates like all matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms are of the same element are chemically alike. Atoms of different elements are chemically different. In particular, the atoms of one element have different mass than those of other element. All of us know element are the single particles which exist independently and they cannot be broken down. And when two or more elements combine together, they form a compound. So the atoms of same element are chemically alike. It means if there are atoms of iron, they all will have the similar properties. And atom of different elements have different properties. Like if we compare the atoms of copper and iron, they will be different from each other. So each element has chemically alike property of same element. Next point is when atoms combine to form compounds or when such combination of atoms decomposes, each individual atom retains its identity. Whenever there is a combination of two elements to form a compound, as we know that a combination of two or more elements is called a compound. So when it decomposes, it means when it will get separated again. So each individual atom retains its identity. Okay, for example, that water is a compound which is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So after electrolysis, when that hydrogen and oxygen will be separated, will be decomposed, the properties of the atom of oxygen will remain the same and the properties of the atom of hydrogen will remain the same. They will retain its atomic property. There will be no loss in the atomic property of each element. When an atom combine, they do so in small number ratios. Whenever atom combine, they do so in small number ratio. It means whenever atoms combine to form a molecule of a compound, there is a fixed whole number ratio and that ratio is very small in the combination to form a molecule. Then they are identical in mass and chemical properties, and atoms of different element are different from the mass and chemical properties, as I told you in the second postulate. So this is Dalton's atomic theory. Now from here, after discussing so many points about the atoms, that atoms elements are made up of atoms, molecules are made up of atoms. So what are atoms? The question arises that what are atoms? So simply when we were discussing about this matter elements compound, so we know that atom is the smallest particle which compose the element in compound. Now, are there any particles which compose atom too? So now researchers start experimenting about that how atom is composed. So they come to know that atoms are also composed of subatomic particle. Now these subatomic particles are electron, proton and neutrons. So the atomic structure is identified by the scientists, and in that they have concluded that atoms are composed of these subatomic particles, electron, proton and neutron, in which electrons have a negative charge and are the least massive of the three. Least massive means it has the least mass and very light. Then protons have a positive charge and about 1836 times more massive than electron. It means the mass of the proton is 1836 times more than electrons, and neutrons have no charge and are about 1839 times more massive than electrons. So these are the three subatomic particles which compose any atom. Atom is an electrically neutral spherical entity, and it is comprised of positively charged nucleus surrounded by one or more negatively charged electrons. So here you can see the composition of the structure of atom. In the middle it is nucleus, in which the neutrons and protons are there. So protons are the particles which are positively charged, and neutrons are the particles which are neutral in nature. They do not have any charge in that. And here in the orbit, this blue color dots are representing electrons, which are negatively charged particles, and they always move around the nucleus in the spherical shells or spherical orbit. And neutrons and protons are in the nucleus and they are stable. So maximum mass of any atom is in its nucleus, which is comprised of protons and neutrons. Now how this subatomic particles of atoms are discovered, we are going to learn that. So first we are going to learn about discovery of electrons, that how electrons are discovered. In 1878, cathode rays were discovered by William Crookes, and he found that when an electric discharge is passed through a tube containing a small quantity of gas at very low pressure, rays are emitted from the negative plate called the cathode. And since the rays are originated from the cathode, they are called as cathode rays. After this, in 1897, Sir J.J. Thomson found that these cathode rays consist of negatively charged particles, which were named as electron, and electron are essential constituents of all matter. So the experiment was performed in a cathode tube. So as you can see in the diagram, there is a tube which is called as cathode ray tube. In this the experiment is performed, and in the experiment you can see two tubes here. This one is cathode and this one is anode, and negative plate and positive plate are placed in this near the tube. So when the voltage is applied, so after giving high voltage, the cathode tube will emit some light rays which travel towards the positive plate anode. Now what J.J. Thomson has done, that he has put it two plates here. So he observed that after putting this positive and negative plate near the tube, the light rays which were emerging out from the cathode tube from the cathode are deflected towards the positive plate, which shows that the rays which are traveling from cathode to anode are negative in nature and are called as cathode rays and are termed as the electron. Now what are the characteristics of electron? So before we move towards the characteristics of electron, first let me tell you what an electron is. An electron is defined as a subatomic fundamental particle having mass equal to 1 upon 1837 of that of hydrogen atom and carrying 1 unit of negative charge. So here we know that hydrogen is the lightest element. Now the mass of the electron is 1 upon 1837 of that of hydrogen. So you can assume that how much lighter it is. Like hydrogen is the lightest element and the mass of electron is 1000 is 1 upon 1837 of that of hydrogen. So that's why in an atom the mass of the electron is considered as negligible and they move around the nucleus in an orbit. Now there are some characteristics of electron. The charge of an individual electron is minus 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The mass of an individual electron is 9.17 into 10 to the power minus 28 gram. This weight of an electron is expressed in atomic mass unit in only 0.0005486 atomic mass unit. And as I told you, this is just 1 upon 1837 of the weight of hydrogen atom. It means it is very less. Electrons have a particle nature and travel in straight line. An electron deflect towards a positive field and away from negative field. As I have explained you in the previous slide in the diagram, that whenever the electrons will travel from cathode ray towards the anode ray, it will deflect towards the positive plate, because we know that opposite charges attract each other and positive and same charges repel each other. So because these rays are cathode rays and contains negative charges, so it will be deflected towards the positive charges. Now this is all about the characteristics of electron. Now next thing, discovery of proton. So after the discovery of electrons, scientists assume that if the negative charges are there, then there would be positive charges also. So if negative charged particles are present in an atom, positively charged particle must also be present, because all atoms are electrically neutral. And if the atoms are electrically neutral, like this point that atoms are electrically neutral was given by the John Dalton. So if atoms are electrically neutral, then there must be positive particles also. So the search of such type of particle led to the discovery of subatomic positive particle called proton. This discovery was credited to Eugen Goldstine. In 1886, Goldstine works with a perforated cathode discharge tube led to the discovery of proton. Now Goldstine observed that there was another set of rays travelling in direction opposite to that of the cathode rays, and these rays showed characteristic diagrammatically opposite to that of the cathode rays, and hence it was concluded that these rays consist of positively charged particles called the proton. The proton was found to have a charge equal in magnitude but opposite in sign to the charge of electron, and a mass almost equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. So protons are formed in discharge tube containing a little hydrogen gas, and these particles are emitted from the anode and from the positive rays. Here you can see in the diagram gas molecules, like this experiment is done with a perforated cathode ray. Perforated cathode means a disc-like structure which have the hole in it. You can see here in the diagram, this is the perforated cathode ray. So Goldstine performed this experiment. Here it is. Now here you can see in the diagram that positive ions are there, negative ions are there, vacuum pump is there. So in this diagram you can see what Goldstine has observed, that he has performed this experiment with a cathode ray, cathode disc, which is called perforated cathode disc. It means it has hole in that. So he observed that when the light travel from cathode towards the anode, and the negative particle travels from the cathode ray towards the anode, some more lights are there which are traveling from anode towards the cathode in opposite direction, and they are positive in nature. So these rays are positive in nature and traveling from anode towards the cathode opposite in direction, and they have the mass nearly equal to that of the hydrogen element. From here he has observed that these rays are called anode rays and are positive in nature and discovered as the protons. Now there are some characteristics of protons, that is the charge of an individual proton is plus 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, and therefore the relative charge of proton is plus 1. There in the electron, the relative charge of the electron is minus 1 because it is negative in nature. Next, the mass of individual proton is 1.672 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. This mass of proton expressed in atomic mass unit is 1.0073 atomic mass unit, which is nearly the mass of hydrogen atom. And proton deflect towards a negative field and away from a positive field because it is positive in nature. So again, if different charges attract each other, so this positive rays will deflect towards the negative field. The protons were believed to be situated in the central region of the atom, and that central region is called the nucleus. And this belief was given credibility after the discovery of atomic nucleus. Proton is defined as a subatomic particle having mass equal to that of hydrogen atom 1U and carrying 1 unit of positive charge. Proton is considered as a fundamental particle as it is present in all metals. Since proton has a charge plus 1 and mass 1U, it is represented by its symbol capital P in it. Now, after this, J.J. Thomson has given a model which discovered the structure of the atom after the discovery of proton and electron. J.J. Thomson model of an atom is given by him in 1898, and he proposed this model to show the structure of atom, and this model is also known as Thomson's plum pudding model of an atom. In this model, he proposed the following assumptions or points we can say. First, an atom is considered to be a sphere of uniform positive charge into which the negatively charged electrons are embedded. The negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude, thus the atom as a whole is electrically neutral, and the mass of atom is considered to be evenly spread over the atom. On the basis of this point, he has given this type of Thomson's model of atom, which is called as plum pudding model, in which he said that atom is a sphere of positive charges on which the negative charges are embedded, like spread like the plums on the pudding, and they have equal magnitude, and that's why the atom is electrically neutral, and the mass of the atom is considered to be evenly spread over the atom. Now, this is the Thomson model of an atom. In next video, I'm going to tell you about the discovery of atomic nucleus, how the neutrons were discovered, and how the Rutherford atomic model is discovered and this Thomson's model is failed, and what are the reasons of the falling of this Thomson's atomic model after the discovery of neutron. So for today's video, this is all about. You have to understand. If any doubt is there, you can ask me on the school app chat box. Till then, just see the video and understand it. See you in the next video. Take care. Have a good day. Thank you.